So yesterday, 100 Thieves played in their first game, and it went pretty well, particularly here on their attack side of Bind. And we're going to start here with round number 4, which I think is a very rare case of this is almost, if not a flawless round of Valorant that we are going to watch to start off. The first full gun round here in this map, in this game, that 100 Thieves played basically went about as well as it could, right? So what they do here, so Lever going for this kind of aggro play through the TP, as you can see just there, sending a Yoru flash with their waylay peeking. 100 Thieves are actually going for this insert in towards Shower, right? So they get past this smoke just outside Shower here, they get Cryo set up in Shower, and now we're going to come back and we're going to go towards a short instead, right? Until we get here. Now, there's some important details we need to note here. One is that a bit of time has come off the clock, so there's 1:16 on the clock there, and so you can see Sato here, his TP is about to run out when 100 Thieves are about to come and do this exec. But from this point on in the round, I mean, this is incredible.
100 Thieves game plan seems pretty clear. Wait out the gate crash duration. And that's when they want to apply that pressure. Sato was really caught here. Saturate. Still know where to run. It's almost perfect with the timings. 100 Thieves just overrun the entire area. King was back to the wall. Going to try and hold this one back, but that...
So this is magical. If this doesn't get your jammies in a twist, I don't know what will. Because this is incredible Valorant that you are seeing right here, right? The timing of this, the way that they make this work, right? So as Bren was kind of mentioning, you know, Sato's TP starts to expire. He doesn't want to fully give up the space, but the Skydog comes in and it creates pressure for him, right? We got the dash in here from Timotino, and look at the spacing and the timing of this, right? Because Timotino, he's now dashed in. Does he go instantly? No, he saturates, he waits, gives it that tick. And now he's here, right? And even if Sato did manage to get this kill, Bang is 100% trading him. Obviously, he's set trade, so that's unlikely. As Spike is getting there, though, we're now getting this trade from Bang as well, right? And there's a third play, right? So imagine that this went wrong. You know, if Timotino does die here, if Sato does manage to dome him just here and get the kill on him, we're still probably going to end up in a decent spot because Bang will be able to trade this kill. And even if Bang dies to Spike, then Asner is here to trade Bang as well. It's just really, really nice spacing. And then they follow this up. They then have the wherewithal to pause and think and wait, right? So we're waiting for Vora here to get into position, you know, where he can then flash through here. He's going to flash. He actually does like either slightly miss the flash or doesn't send it quite deep enough. Perhaps he thinks he's worried about someone being very close to him. But now with the flash, double swing, out we go. Everyone's dead. This is an amazing round of Valorant. For this to be your first full gun round of the season, considering what we've seen from some of the other teams, this is remarkable. And then even, you know, farming ult orbs as well, having the wherewithal with that. This, to me, showed a very, very high level. This looks like a team in mid-season form, late-season form, in their very first full gun round. But for the rest of this video now, I now want to talk really about Waylay, and Timotino's Waylay in particular, because 100 Thieves in every single map that they played solo Waylay, right? So no double duelist, just solo Waylay on every single of the 3 maps. I personally believe that when you're playing, you know, like Levar here, when you're playing Waylay with a Yoru or some other duelist, I actually think that's a fairly easy role. You know, you just dash in, you saturate, you recall back, and then it's up to everyone else, right? You just use all your util and that's it in one go a lot of the time, right? That's how you play Waylay when you're in this double duelist. When you have to play solo Waylay, though, I think that is so much more difficult. It is so much more difficult, but 100 Thieves managed to do it through 2 things, and that's what we're going to see in the rest of the video. 1 is Timotino being exceptionally good at Waylay, and 2 is them having ideas around Waylay as well that don't involve having a second duelist, like this.
Viper Orb. Similar to the setup on the pistol. Those are going to be having to support, though. That's going to be catching with a Trailblaze, double dash on, and that's that. Again, Saturate placed down at the feet. Orbital strike, we've seen this one! That is just impeccable!
So obviously this is incredibly impressive, just full stop. But there are parts to this that I think make this even more impressive, right? The fact that, again, and this is where the details come in, and I talk a lot about detailed Valorant, right? Because, you know, Vora sees a player there, right? So if we're 100 Thieves here, we've seen the Prowler from Blows here, right? So we know the Fade is over here, and we know that this player, Spike, is in that corner as well. Now, Timotino, you know, he could go and attack this Waylay, but he doesn't. And both sides of this, both Asner on the brim and him, know this is the guy they're going for. Why is it so important they go for this guy? Because, of course, if they go for this guy and try and saturate him, you know, he's the closer of them. You might think that makes more sense. Well, he just TPs and he doesn't die to the brim ult. Or the brim ult, sorry. Right? He just gets out. And it's a waylay. So, you know, he could get out the other way as well. So this is just like high-level knowledge of like, if there is a guy here, ignore him, right? Don't worry about him. Just go for the second player, right? Because he will die. Because often this won't be a duelist. He won't have any movement abilities. And you see Spike actually uses his ult in response, but it's far too late. It's really, really, really high-level play. And then we actually get Spike dashing back across, but I think he then just gets spammed through here as well. And at this point, obviously, the round is pretty much over. And it's just so well played by 100 Thieves of finding different ways to be able to use, you know, their abilities. And then as we watch this go forward as well, this flash does not catch onto PXS, but guess what? Are they going to get baited by that? Absolutely not. The coordination and the jump peaks are still there for 100 Thieves.
To be the one to make a play. Jumping around though, look at it, man. Setting themselves up perfectly, and that is just pure.
Okay, now let's skip ahead to the next round, and again, this one actually doesn't start that great for them. You're going to see here in a second, Cryo's going to peek out towards Showers, and he's actually going to die, right? There's two Lev players kind of behind this, and there you go. So he kind of takes that first peek. King comes with Spike then, they take the fight together, and he actually does die there. Now, whilst that's going on, 100 Thieves are rushing in towards A here, and this is where the decision from the Lev players against what is a waylay ult here maybe isn't the best.
Play. So with Crown cleaned up, they've dominated control of this one, but again, the convergent paths have caught it. Refract as well. You are sitting ducks. There's nothing you can do against that.
So for me, this is one, and this is something I've seen a couple teams do as well, and I'm not sure if this is impatience, if it's kind of, you know, a philosophy of how you want to play, of, you know, not giving up the site and not playing retakes. But when you get this first kill here, right, and you know that they've got a waylay ult, and you know, you're hearing the pressure coming out here, and the Seekers are coming at you as well. I think when they've Seekers and they've got a waylay ult here, which Lev know that they do, you have to be a bit more smart here, right? You've killed this guy. You should know that he's the lurk. The main pressure is definitely going to come this way. And you are just setting yourself up here to get smacked by this waylay ult. And I've seen a couple teams do this where they do get this kill, but then don't, like, carry on forward, right? Because these guys have a choice, right? They don't have to come back to the site. They can continue to, you know, press forward, set up for a retake where they could potentially be on a fast flank, still have shower control, you know, be coming from CT as well, and kind of hem 100 Thieves in a 5v4. Instead, as we see, they go for that kind of more aggressive, like, let's try and fight them now approach. You know, let's try and stop the spike, all of that. As we see, they get ulted in it, and it goes horribly wrong for them. So that I think is a bit of a mistake here from Lev. But again, 100 Thieves, and again, Timotino on this agent, we're just finding value all the time, right? I mean, that's all we're seeing in this video is just Timotino, just pure value. And you see Spike ends up looking stupid on Waylay, whereas Timotino ends up looking, you know, incredible on Waylay, because pretty much everything he did seemed to work, and this is just another example of it. And finally, let me show you round number 11 here. So this is towards the end of the half. It's 8-2 to 100 Thieves, and we're going to just get Timotino and Vora going down towards B-Long. Right, so here they are. They're coming down towards B-Long. They're in a 2v2 here. And this is the thing, right? Playing solo Waylay, I think, is really quite difficult. Because unlike in the double duelist Waylay, where, you know, you just spam all of your util and someone else goes and gets the kill, and it's, you know, you just press all the buttons. When you're playing solo Waylay in these kind of positions, you know, you need to be able to get the saturate, but you also need to be super aware of, like, where your team is as well, right? Should you refract? Should you not? Is your team, like, there to get a kill with you or not? All of these things, right, like, require a very quick knowledge and very good decision making, like, in very short spaces of time, which obviously is not very easy. But I mean, Timotino is amazing at it, right? Just take a look at what he's about to do here on this Waylay.
Real strange stuff. Quick TP as well to get themselves over towards B. Saturate is perfect. Timotino is dissecting up.
So again, just take a look at this, right? So this is a jump peak, so he's just going to ever so slightly jump peek here, insta-saturate, manages to get it off, hit both players, the smoke's here as well, now swing, now get the kill. Right, just really, really high-level stuff. Right, so the flash does go off, and that tells them that someone's here, but, you know, they could just dip back into the smoke and be gone. But to just do that, be so fast, hit both players, kill, get the kill, And just again, that awareness and knowledge, and then bang, obviously gets the kill as well. I just thought Timotino in this game, like, his stats weren't always the best, but like, I think playing solo Waylay is very difficult, and he was really, really good at it in this game. And I think, to me, for 100 Thieves, and again, just take a look at this, right? Like, 5v3, like, knowing where you are in a round, knowing, like, what your job is in the round, right? Your job in a 5v3 is a Waylay now. It's just to find people. You should have the numbers to just take advantage of this. The Yoru has to TP away. He guarantees the round here with this ult as well. They get it onto the site, and the round is over. So, again, just the decision-making from Timotino here just was super, super, super high-level stuff. And as I say, playing solo Waylay, not super easy. And to me, this is 100 Thieves almost playing like what the next meta is going to be, right? After Yoru gets nerfed. They're almost, I think, playing right now on kind of slightly hard mode because, you know, they're not playing Yoru, who obviously is still very, very strong. But this to me is almost like what the meta will be when Yoru gets nerfed, but they're already doing it at an incredibly high level.